A very good morning, Team Zimbabwe. Mamuka say, welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And my name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. So this morning we need to talk about Citizens Coalition for Change formation, constitution, structures, and their ideology. So it's very important for us to take a look onto those things strictly guided by what Citizens Coalition for Change said on their handle here on Twitter. So they said on January 24, 2022, at 1500 hours, President Nelson Chamisa announced a new alternative political party in Zimbabwe with fresh ideas, new values, a new color, logo, new structure, and new leadership. This new entrant, called the Citizens Coalition for Change, achieved outstanding results in the by-elections within 2 months of its announcement at Bronte Hotel in Harare. So that is very important for us to note as the people of the Republic of Zimbabwe. So I'm going to actually take a look onto the video which they have posted here so that we get context and the idea of where we are coming from and where we are going regarding this whole issue. So a lot of people have been saying CCC is not organized, but let us hear what CCC is.
This afternoon we approached ZEC to give them what they didn't expect. We are not approaching ZEC as MDC Alliance. We are approaching ZEC as a new organization. So they kept on insisting that, look, we know you as MDC Alliance. I said, but who are you to tell us who we are? We are a new organization. Anybody launches their party anytime in terms of the laws of this country. So for that reason, we are coming as a new entity with a new leadership, with new values, new structures. Alas, they wouldn't have it. We want MDC Alliance. Tell us that you are rebranding. We are not rebranding. If you know MDC as a brand, please dine with those whom we have given MDC Alliance. We are a new party. Nothing to do with the past, nothing to do with the yesterday. We are starting afresh. We'll build from ground zero, we'll start afresh. We'll defeat them like we did in 2018. We'll start afresh.
Yes.
They wouldn't take it. They had meetings after meetings with our senior leadership. We have given them our new logo. We have given them our new name. We have given them our new leadership. We have given them our new trust, except our new strategy. Everything else we have given them in terms of the dictates of the law.
So President Nelson Chamisa was clear during this presser that they gave the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission everything they needed. That is the new logo, the constitution, the leadership structure, as they demanded. Remember, we talked about this, and where I was using the letter which was addressed to CCC by Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. President Nelson Chamisa confirmed in this presser that they provided all those things to Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So for you to be told by haters to say Nelson Chamisa and this party are not organized, they do not know each other, that is false. The truth is that CCC leadership is known. Who is known within the CCC. As I mentioned earlier, CCC does have what they call directors at the national level. Then they have administrators and their teams at provincial level. They have cluster leaders at district level. Then they have other leaders like the coordinators at constituency as well as ward level. So that is what is happening. So number two, they say CCC was formed through extensive countrywide consultations by President Nelson Chamisa, who is the face of this 1-year-old 9-month-old party. The philosophy of CCC revolves around prioritizing the citizens, placing them at the center of decision making and policy formulation. So this is what they say here. Number one, the philosophy should be understood that it is about the citizens, placing the citizens at the center and making decisions and making policy formulations. So let me take a look onto this very important video, which must guide us at this juncture and at this moment in time, so that you understand where CCC is coming from and where they are going and what they are actually
You couldn't come here without that response. But you couldn't come here without that response. But after all is said and done, they said, fine, we have now received your letter and we want to see your constitution. He said, the constitution we have. It's a brilliantly written document. It will help you to understand who we are. So we have new everything, new headquarters, new name, new constitution, a new mindset, a new thrust, and of course a new focus and a new philosophy. The philosophy being to focus on the citizen, making sure that we replace the citizen in all the discourses that we have seen, eliminating the citizen, so that the citizen is back to the center. The citizen is responsible for decision making, policy making. Every decision must be centered on the citizen. That is where we are going. Where you have politicians taking over, we want the citizen to come back so that we displace politicians and replace them with the citizen. That is who we are. So behold the new. The new is upon us, and the new I deliver. We've always said that we are building it, and we have now built it. It is here, it is there, and you are going to see it. We keep moving forward. We've opened new doors. We've listened to the people of Zimbabwe. This is not an easy decision. The people have told us, please leave the dirty past alone. Focus on building a new, fresh future. And I'm the face of that future. I'm ready to lead the charge until such a time and point when then people say, we are giving the responsibility and honors to the other one.
So for those who are saying Advocate Nelson Chamisa is not organized together with his team, they are lying to themselves. CCC, the leader, is known. You know, the reason why in every organization you see there is someone as the head is because there are critical decisions which must be made. And when decision making is happening, the head must authorize. Go to any bank. You might not know who is who, but you might know the head at that bank. When you have any query, you go to the manager, who is the head at any particular branch and who will deal with the concerns you have. That is how CCC is working and operating. Everywhere you go, if you go to any province, you find leaders there who are leading teams which are known. So you cannot say that CCC does not have structures, CCC, they do not know each other. When the head of CCC himself is saying, we do not know these people. When the National Executive Council of CCC is saying, we do not know Sengezo. So you can't force Sengezo to be part of CCC. This is the reason why I said, if there was anything Sengezo was disgruntled about within the opposition, he would go to court and challenge that in court, let the courts decide according to the constitution of CCC, because it's there. So number 3, they say the citizens movement was formed from scratch after ZANU seized everything through their proxies. CCC is a unique party that emerged independently. It is not a derivative of any existing party, but rather a party with its own distinct value. structure, leadership, constitution, and philosophy. We cannot be sold, we are not purchasable, because our conviction to bring change in Zimbabwe is unshakable. Zimbabwean citizens know who their leaders are. They know who champions their struggle for better wages, students, and human rights. They know who is the face of hope, and those in ZANU PF know it. So there is no confusion whatsoever within the CCC. I have seen a lot of people agitated and saying that President Chamisa should hold a Congress and announce the structures, whatever. The issue is not about a Congress. The issue is not about announcing your own structures you want. CCC does have its own formulation and its own kind of structures, which are different from those traditional structures which are within ZANU-PF, the MDC, and other parties. They have that right, because there is no law which compels political parties to create certain positions. If there is any law, show me. There's no law in Zimbabwe which guides political parties in terms of how they should be structured. That is the reason why I said, what do you call a director of elections? Isn't that person part of the structures? And I gave you an example. If you go to ZANU-PF, there is what they call director of information. Is that man, Marapira, not part of the structures of ZANU-PF? He is part of the structures of ZANU-PF. As who? As the director of information. So when it comes to CCC, you say the directors who are running CCC are not part of the structures. And that confuses me. That confuses me, honestly. For the people who have been following things happening within CCC, they know that these people are there. There are people who are in charge of administration, who are in charge of elections, who are in charge of finances, who are in charge of all portfolios. And these are directors at national level. And then you have the National Executive Council. It's known. Then you have my MPs. They are known. You have my provincial leaders. Everybody knows. That is the reason why you see when President Chamisa calls for cluster leaders meetings, they come. President Chamisa traveled across Zimbabwe in the past few days. There were so many leaders who attended. Those were not rallies. These were meetings which he did with the cluster leaders. They attended those meetings. And the question is, how did they attend if there were no structures? Who disseminated the information to each and every person? Who traveled from up to the villages, deep down in deep rural areas? It means there is a structure. President Chamisa cannot call everybody to say one by one, let us meet. He uses the people who are part of the leadership. And that is very, very, very important for the people of Zimbabwe to actually understand and know that this is how CCC operates. And for those who are saying otherwise, they are just doing so to satisfy their ego, to fix President Chamisa. But it doesn't work like that. I don't see it working like that. Let us take a look onto this video once again.
We have said that there will be no confusion. We do not want any confusion. Those other people came after our name. They thought that they had taken MDCT. We said, have it. They said that they had taken Changira. We said, have it. They thought that they had taken our headquarters. We said, have the headquarters. They thought that they had taken MPs. We said, have those MPs. They thought that they had taken our finances. Fine, share with Mr. Mnangagwa the bed. But I can tell you that it's not a bed of roses, it's a bed of thorns. It's a matter of time. They've taken literally everything, but thank God, we still have ourselves. So we've lost everything except ourselves. That's why we are building on the basis of ourselves. Nothing to do with the past, nothing to do with any wrangles. If you want MDC alliance, as you have said, take it. If you want ourselves, tough luck, you can't have us. Because we are not purchasable. We cannot be sold. We are convinced that our conviction to bring change to Zimbabwe is unshakable, is indomitable. So as I said, Zimbabweans, citizens in Zimbabwe, know who their leaders are. They know who their champions are. They know who champions their struggle, the struggle for better wages, the struggle for better salaries, the working class struggle in this country, student struggles in this country, women's rights struggles in this country. They know who stands for the citizen. They know who is the face of hope, the voice of hope in this country. Those in ZANU-PF know it. That's why after stripping us naked, they still come to us. And we say, look, go to those whom we have given the borrowed robes. They don't even believe those robes. They still want us, even naked.
So, honestly speaking, Team Zimbabwe, if you listen carefully to President Nelson Chamisa speaking, you will have the answers answered. For those who are saying the senior comrades from A, B, C, D were supposed to be rewarded with positions, were supposed to be rewarded with positions in parliament, with seats in parliament, that is wrong. That is wrong, totally wrong. Everybody was given a chance to contest. Some lost, some won. And as President Nelson Chamisa said, the citizens' movement and the citizens' government, it will have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of leadership posts, which means that you cannot be limited to parliament. You cannot be limited only to the National Assembly. There are a lot. But the reason why these comrades are disgruntled and are trying to destroy everything is because President Nelson Chamisa is speaking about inclusivity. He's speaking about national building to say, let everybody who is competent enough come on board so that we build Zimbabwe. It must not be about a few individuals. It must be about a national consensus, which means President Nelson Chamisa is looking broader to take people in the civil society, to take people in the church, to take people in various sectors of the economy, technocrats, industry, business, politics, everybody, bring everyone together so that they build a solid government, which is not centered on individuals, which is not centered on friendships, but which is centered on the knowledge and know-how of tackling the problems we have and the challenges we have as a nation. So I'm going to play probably our last video here before we
citizens are the engines that turn the turbines of a nation. When you get citizens in the right mode, reconstruction becomes easy. And that's why we must listen to the citizen. And that's why the new outfit has a perfect and beautiful name. Beautiful to even have a meal with. Or for those like Blessing who like wine, to have a nice drink for it. The Citizen Coalition for Change. Once again, the new baby, the Citizen Coalition for Change. We have left everything. Color red, take it. We have a new color in town. Gold. Yellow. Yellow, yellow. We said, you want Chisa Mbama Chisa? Fine. Chisa, longe. We want to Chisa Mbama Chisa. Chisa ngani. We are focusing on the new. And we are going to introduce the new. We've said we are number one in the country. Oh, yeah. We are number one in the country. That's why we have been fought. Because champions are fought by mediocrity. We are number one. Yes. This one.
So, Team Zimbabwe, if you take a look very important, critical look on Triple C entirely. You agree with me that it's not about me being a praise worshipper of President Nelson Chamisa. It's not about me being a non-supporter of Triple C. It must be about competence. Am I competent enough for me to take a leadership post? If I'm not competent enough, then a more competent person than me should be given that opportunity. That is how governance should be. That is how governance should look like. I cannot fight for a position when I'm not competent enough. I cannot fight for a position when I don't have the ideas. So I believe that there are people with capacity to think who are called think tanks, who can think randomly about new things, about new ideas. But those people might lack the capacity to develop that idea or to implement the idea. So we need several groups: thinkers, developers, implementers. That is what the new structure is all about. That is what Triple C government is all about. It's about thinkers. It's about um, uh, developers. It's about implementers. Those people complement each other. So you might be a thinker, but not directly involved in the development of that idea, not directly involved in the implementation of that idea. You have played your role, you have thought about something, and other people comes in to broaden what you are thinking about. That is how we can build Zimbabwe the best way. So I've seen all these attacks. These are attacks on the citizens directly, not on Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Advocate Nelson Chamisa is nothing to lose, but it's us, the people of Zimbabwe, who trust in him, who are losing. So when you hear all these people going to social media each and every day, they are very influential and they have a very huge following, and they will tell you Triple C is in a mess, Triple C is not organized, they created this mess. They will be lying to you. President Nelson Chamisa and his team never created this mess. You cannot accuse our party of creating a mess being created in ZANU-PF. So my question is, if you are not an agent of ZANU-PF, why are you not acknowledging the truth? Why are you not telling the truth? Because I have, times without numbers, referred everybody to the Mashavira case and said Mashavira went to court, not to parliament. Thokozani Kupe could have recalled MDCT MPs without a court order, but she couldn't. They waited for her to be reinstated by the courts. That is when they started to act, and that is when they started to recall MPs. The cycle goes on. Monzora, now in charge, he waited to be leader to even recall and fire Thokozani Kupe from parliament. Those are the issues, Team Zimbabwe. Very important issues. It's not about anything else. It's about, is there any similarity between the 2018 and the 2023 recalls? There are no similarities there. These recalls of 2023 are 100% illegal and very consequential. It's about time, but the consequences will be felt. The consequences will be seen. I can tell you, count years from now, even if it takes 30 years, if people like Mdenda will be alive, our children will drag people like Mdenda to court for destroying an institution, for destroying the 10th parliament deliberately. So it is what it is, Team Zimbabwe. I feel that there is need for us to talk much about these issues and be honest enough. There is no organization without its own problems, its own weaknesses, but whatever which is happening is not the creation of President Nelson Chamisa, is not President Nelson Chamisa's fault. This is a clear violation of the law, a clear disregard of the Constitution and the will of the people. So let us